Hey, what's up, dudes? It's Trayvonix, and welcome back to another video. Now, I will say this is like probably my very first story time that I've ever done. And what inspired me to do this is slow that a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, so what inspired me, or actually who inspired me to do this, was Blasphemous HD, who back then used to do story times like this, but he doesn't do it anymore. He does like more reactions and more gaming now. Now, as you can see by the title, this story is not as interesting as any of his, but it's still something, alright? And for those of you who might think, oh, he's just making this stuff up to get views, why would I need to make a story up when I can do other sorts of videos? It's not like I make money out of this, which Blasphemous HD does, but most of the stuff that has happened to him is true, and he's even confirmed it with his friends and family. Now, this story in particular takes place time-wise in between 2016 and 2017. It was probably near the end of 2016. And it has to do with me being in foster care. Now, I'm not going to go on and say what happened to me and how I got into foster care. That is probably for later on in the future. Probably like when I move out on my own, or when I'm at least old enough and I can like share that with the internet. But for now, I'm not gonna say why I was in foster care. That's way too personal now. But I don't think I even told any of my friends this specific story. Okay, so this was during when I was in foster care, and it was before I met a friend of mine named Zach. Now, also, I am going to say I am gonna say everybody's name, like their first name, not their second name, not their last name though. That's a little bit too personal of theirs. But I believe one person was named Jaden. My foster mother was named Vivian. I forgot her first name, but her last name is Vivian, I think. Wait, didn't I just say? Okay, whatever. Okay, just Vivian. I don't know. I don't even know if that was her actual last name. But while everybody else called her Miss Vivian, I would always call her just Vivian, because I didn't. She's not like a teacher of mine, and I don't believe in that you respect your elders that way by calling them Miss or Mister. I only believe that with teachers and other famous, like really famous people, like celebrities and stuff, like Mr. Timberlake, you know, stuff like that. So, anyway, Vivian, her two biological daughters, and I think biological son, and there was this small 8-year-old girl who's probably like 10 or 11 now, and this other small boy, which was around her age. He's probably 10 or 11 now as well. I think he was Jaden. And there's this other boy that was a foster kid as well. He was like, okay, now might be a time to note that I was 12. So I started my YouTube channel right after I got out of foster care, which is actually pretty good because I wouldn't be able to upload anything while I was there anyway. So, yeah. 2 girls, 2 boys, and, oh yeah, 2 biological girls of Vivian, Yeah, 2 biological girls, 1 biological boy, and 1 foster boy and 1 foster girl. Okay, so the second biological daughter of Vivian, her name was Ariana. And she was really connected with Vivian, obviously. Like, there was no disagreements or arguments with the 2 parents of Vivian and I forgot the father's name. But he was a really cool guy. He was cool because he was into rock, which I was into as well. And, you know, stuff that me and him, we have similar interests. I might be stuttering a lot in this video, I apologize. So, about the daughter Ariana, me and her got along at the start, but as time passed, everybody started to notice me a little bit more. Like, they started to notice me as an impatient, greedy, picky little guy. Like, a little bit more throughout my time in foster care. And obviously so did Ariana and Vivian and, yeah, everybody. So, so, if you haven't guessed already, Ariana was top notch. Vivian was Asian, and the husband was, I guess, just a full-on American or white. I don't know. I didn't really ask him about it. But Ariana, she had like smooth, pale skin, and she is okay. I'm just gonna say it's safe to assume that nobody from that home is watching this video. I hope not, because if they do, they're never gonna take me back and forgive me ever again. Okay, so about Ariana. Ariana was smoking hot. Like, she had curves and stuff. She was only 1 year younger than me too, and she was in a higher grade. I was in 6th grade and she was in 7th. She's having fun in high school now. That really disappointed me because my younger cousin, Rose, is literally the same thing. I always thought of Ariana, the Asian, non-related version of my younger cousin. But apparently that's not the case, because my cousin is a lot more different. I might explain that in another story time. But Ariana, she had like long black hair, not brown like mine. It was actually like black, even though Vivian's hair was. Oh wait, Vivian actually bleached her hair. So, and actually, this is before the time I even got my very first phone. So I guess that's probably why I started my channel after, because I got my phone the day after I got released. So anyway, about Ariana. Me and her started to be friends with each other, and then act like brothers and sisters, kind of. Not really, but like, we agreed on some stuff and then we disagreed on others. Sometimes we didn't like each other's actions. I didn't like the way she treated me sometimes. Like, she always treated me like the lesser kid, because I was pretty immature back then. And also, I was starting to use profanity through my way through 7th grade. So I wasn't tough like her, like tough. Like, because she was in 7th grade and she probably does curse, just not around her parents, obviously. So one day, this kid, not a kid, he's actually old, like 2 years older than me. We're gonna call him Zach. Yeah, that's his name. Was it? Yes, it was Zach. Because I always used to call him Chris, because he always looked like the Chris to me. But his name was Zach, and I started to stop calling him Chris, because everybody told me to stop it, and so did he. And he was cool. Like, he was serious about everything, He was like me, but back then. Imagine like me traveling back in time and going into that same foster home. That's basically what he was. An older, mature version of me. But shorter hair, obviously. So, me and him got along a lot. I would say a lot more better than me and Ariana did. But, I just got a notification. Okay, so... hold on. Crap, I need to check this notification. So yeah, me and Zach played games together. Vivian did allow video games. Probably not as much as I would normally play, though, and everybody else. Like, Ariana wasn't really much of a gamer, but she did love playing video games, though. Not as much as me and Zach. Because me and Zach, we played... He brung his own game of Terraria. I believe I already told you guys that I play Terraria a lot. Terraria, I don't know. I'm just gonna call it Terraria. Me and him played that a lot. Every time we would get the chance of playing it on the Xbox, me and him would play it a lot. Like, we got awesome weapons. We accomplished a whole lot. We beat like 2 bosses, which I beat like 3 main bosses twice in the game on my Xbox. Like, the game is awesome. Even though it's old, it's still freaking awesome. So then, as time progresses, he starts to notice me too. And then I start to notice him, because he starts to get more serious and he has anger issues. That's why he was in foster care. Something about anger. So, and I already told you that I have a huge crush. I stopped the music, my bad. That I have a huge crush on Ariana. Because, yeah, like, Ariana was thick. So, especially for an Asian person. I probably shouldn't say that. But, so one time, like, I didn't have a phone back then, but I did have an iPad, though. So, one time, we all take showers separately. Zach takes showers first, because Vivian and her husband were always last. Because the children always smelled, including me, Zach, and Ariana. So Zach took a shower first, because he was the oldest. I took a shower after him, and then it was Ariana. So when he got out of the shower, I got in, and this is a little bit personal. I don't feel comfortable sharing this right now, but I just couldn't help but imagine what Ariana looks like in the shower. Oh man, I was such a pervertive person back then. And believe me, I was very pervertive back then, and you'll soon see why. Actually, this would be a good time to let y'all know that the only way how I found out about sex and what porn was and all that other stuff was because of my stupid ass friend named Antoine. When I was in 4th grade, yes, I found out about it in 4th grade. He had his own iPad. He didn't have his own phone yet, though, either, back then. So, and he's the one who showed me what porn was. And then, later on, I find out, so yeah, apparently, my parents were not doing that special hug that I heard about, So anyway, back to foster care. So as I'm taking a shower, I'm thinking about her, and like 1 out of a lot of times, I started to get an erection in the bathroom. I didn't do anything though. I didn't like masturbate or anything. I don't masturbate unless I really have to. Like as if I was waiting or something. Like I don't masturbate too much, not anymore at least. I used to a lot back then. And especially when I was at the foster home, I tried to like tone it down a little bit. You get what I mean. So I get out of the shower, I get dressed and everything, and I get out, and Ariana's already ready. Like, she has her towel around her. She obviously has her bra and her panties on, I would assume. And she gets in the shower. I go downstairs, and I sit on the couch, and I watch a cooking show. I forgot what it was called. Like, these people that do cooking contests or whatever. Like, on a cooking channel. I forgot what it was. But me and Vivian were watching it with the other kids, and Zach was probably doing something, like, I don't know, getting dressed or playing video games in upstairs. So I'm sorry, but this is about time where it starts to get a little bit weird. So as you can tell, I was already horny at the time. I didn't have a full-on erection when I was on the couch though with Vivian. Obviously, I waited a little bit until it went away. And when it went fully away, I was still a little bit curious because it was only like a minute until it did fully. I asked Vivian if I can go upstairs and get my iPad, and she's like, "Yeah, go ahead, get it." And I told her that it's somewhere up there, but it might be a little bit hard to find. Now, I will note this. I said that on purpose, so she would expect me to take a little bit longer than usual for me to find my iPad. And I told her this on purpose. So, I go upstairs, and I go near the bathroom. And as smoothly and quietly as I can, I twist the knob. And as I twist the knob, like, you hear a small screech when you're in the middle of opening the door at the like when you're starting to open it, but that screech, surprisingly, the water was loud enough for Ariana not to hear it. So I open it, and the screech it has already passed, and I'm in the bathroom. So I go in there, and I was right. She was obviously in her bra and in her panties as well, with the towel around her before she went in the shower. She's still taking a shower, and she is listening to one of Michael Jackson's songs. I can't remember what it was. I think it was either Smooth Criminal or Billie Jean. Like, she was a huge fan of Michael Jackson. I was about to say Justin Bieber. What the heck? So, as I go in there, I see her bra and her panties. And as thirsty as I was back then, I went ahead and picked up her panties, and I took a good sniff out of that. Oh my goodness. So bad. This story is bad. So, after that, that's when I hear the shower, because Ariana takes very quick showers. So, she turns off the shower, and then I drop her panties, and then I hurry up and close the door as slightly as I can. But when you close it, the screech doesn't happen. But you do obviously hear, like, the little thing, I don't know how to explain it. When you turn the knob and there's like a metal thing that you put through the wall to make it shut all the way. That clink sound when you shut the door, that did happen, but apparently she didn't hear that because of the music as well. So I head downstairs, and Ariana does as well, and apparently she doesn't notice that her panties were moved, because when she got in, I saw her panties were on the toilet, like on the toilet lid. And then when I sniffed them and then I put them down, they were back on the floor. Like, they were on the floor, not back on the floor. And she didn't notice that, apparently. So she got on her pajamas, which were tight yoga pants for some reason, which made it a little bit worse for me. And around 9 is when we all go to bed. 9 or 8:30, I can't remember. So I go to bed, like there's 2 bunk beds. And I sleep on the top bunk bed to the right of the room. And Zach sleeps on the lower half of the bunk bed on the left of the room. Because all the boys and the girls sit in sleep in different rooms. You know, to prevent anything. Vivian is smart like that. Come on. So, what Vivian didn't know was I got my iPad out and I put it under my pillow and not in my backpack so I could take it to school with me sometimes. And, so, because I was still pretty thirsty. Oh my god. So I got out my iPad and I started searching up some you know what. And then for some reason Zach calls Ariana over. I don't know why, but he does. But he does it in a way where she can hear him, but other people can't. Like the other girls, because her bed was the closest to the door, and the other girls were like on the other side of the room. So she hears them and she comes over, and he's like, "Hey, Travis wants to talk to you." So she doesn't get on the bed, but she climbs up the ladder, and for some reason, I was dumb enough not to notice this, even though I heard him call her and heard her footsteps enter the room. So when she got on the bunk bed, not on it, but halfway up there with her head peeking over, she noticed what I was watching, and I just froze. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I had to, like, put it away, or if I should. I didn't know what to do. So, out of shock, she goes back down, and then goes in her bed. I don't know what she does. She probably couldn't sleep that day, or she probably did sleep, but barely. And after that, me and her barely talked to each other. It was very weird. But the day before I left, when my mom came and get me after I got done with school, because Ariana had a desktop, I went on her desktop to like try to see what kind of games and what kind of stuff she watches on YouTube, even though I was pretty curious as to what she looks up on Google. I think anybody would. And I go on her history, and what do I see? Basically the same shit I looked up. Except I used to watch lesbians, and she watches gay porn. Well, I guess that makes sense because I'm a boy and I like to see girls on girls, and she's a girl and she likes to see guys on guys. But still, the expression on her face showed me that she's not into that type of shit. Even though when I look on her desktop, crap, I see very similar stuff. I don't understand. She probably, like, thought in her head, oh my god, this guy's a perv. He's probably gonna rape me in my sleep. Like, probably like that, and she does get horny. Because I already know that girls get horny as well, but it was just the expression on her face that showed me that she did not like what I was watching or what I was doing. So, after that, I left and I kind of forgot about it until now. Like, I guess that I just wanted this to be a very good story time, and it was perfect timing too, because I felt like making a video before I make my Saturday selection after this. And thank God I remembered this stupid ass story. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, of course it's believable. But what if you ran into a girl that caught you doing stuff you're not supposed to do, and yet you see the same shit in her history? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah. Oh my god. That just shows you how thirsty I was back then. I was super thirsty. Man. So yeah. That was a story time for you guys. My very first story. And obviously it has to do with inappropriate teenage stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope my mom doesn't see this, or any of my family members. And I'll see you in the next video. And peace.